Good evening, Starspawn. This is your overlord, Almighty Cthulhu. Thought I'd try that new entrance. I think I like it. I'm going to stick with it. Anyways, I wanted to, someone had brought to my knowledge that I was wrong about Chemnitz. And there's two things I was wrong about that I could figure out. One, it's not in Bavaria. It's in Saxony. And two, which they didn't even bring up, this person, I found it through further study. I was wrong about one of the immigrants being Somalian. They were actually Syrian, so I guess they did have a reason to be there. But, I'm gonna try, if I ever have information brought to me that proves me wrong, and I feel like I need to make a video on it, or not even if I feel to, I don't like spreading false information. So, it wasn't because I was maliciously trying to do it, it's because I didn't know. I was just going on what I had heard. But now that I've researched it a little bit more, I can say that the immigrant that I thought was a Somalian was Syrian, and the city's in Saxony, not Bavaria, which is still in southern Germany, and real close to Bavaria. Someone might have said it's close to Bavaria, and that's why, like, I made the connection in my head. But I thought I'd get those edited, and correct myself. Sorry if it's a little loud. I'm doing this video outside. Obviously, it's a little earlier in the day. I have some plans tonight, so I'm trying to get these videos done before I do all of that. Afterwards, I'm going to return to my nightly news at 9, or whatever you want to call it. But, one thing they said in this was, there was, I'm not sure if I'm wrong on this, and I'd like someone to find me some harder evidence. They said that the police had not made a statement saying that a woman was not being attacked or harassed. I couldn't find this statement. I found two news sources and CNN. Do you want to consider them a news source? I don't. But a few news, it wasn't very many. 2 or 3 news sources stated that the police have tried to say that the woman being attacked was false news, or fake news. Sorry, not false news, though I suppose that could be a synonym. However, I can't find the statement. I can't find the actual statement from the police officer saying that this part of the whole thing, what people have initiated, the reason what initiated it was a woman being harassed or attacked. I can't find that anywhere. If someone can prove me wrong, I would love to see it. I would love to see the statement. So that's rumor. But whether or not that's rumor, the fact is that these people are angry that there's all of these violent refugees coming into their country that they haven't asked for. That some of them are taking a larger portion of the burden than some of the other states in the country, or in the EU. That's kind of an issue. People don't like that. So it doesn't, I guess, it's not good if people are saying that this man was trying to defend someone from being attacked and that didn't actually happen, but that doesn't completely nullify the protest. I'm still gonna protest if people just were coming into my city, we were offering them help, and they started killing people en masse and trying to change our culture and not assimilating and shutting down parts of the city with these no-go zones. So there's that. Once again, if anybody can find the statement from the police officers and not from these news sources, and I'm not really counting these news sources too heavily because they are calling thousands of people at this far-right and Nazi supporters. There was a dozen men doing the Sieg Heil and the Hail Hitler. That doesn't make everybody else there a Nazi. I would like to, there is no, it's either believe that because 12 of these men are there throwing the Sieg Heil and being Nazis, that I can extrapolate that to there was thousands of Nazis gathering in the street based on less than 1% of the population openly supporting it at this event. So, is it wilder to say that there's thousands of Nazis congregating in the streets of this city when there's already tensions developing for the refugee crisis that's going on, even though I know some of you would like to say it's not a crisis, that's kind of a leap, as compared to saying there was a couple of thousand people there, and a couple of them happened to be Nazis. That seems a lot more logically sound to me. I don't attribute maliciousness to an entire group because there is 2 or 3 or 4 or 12 people, less than 1%. Like I said, if this is if this is 5,000 people, if this was 1,000 people and 10 of them, that would be 1%, I think. I'm terrible at math. I'm not a very great mathematician, so nor am I a mathematician. I'm terrible at math. So if there was 1,000 people there and 10 of them were Nazis, actual Nazis, goose-stepping, Zeke-heiling, Aryan bastard Nazis, I couldn't support it. But you're telling me that based on this less than 24 people, that this entire group is far-right. And I get that you don't have to be wearing the uniform to be part of this group, a neo-Nazi, but come on, man. It just doesn't make sense to me. And that's kind of why I discounted these two sites who were talking about the far right, and it being a far right protest and a neo-Nazi protest, is because I can't see that. For one, it's illegal to be a Nazi in Germany. They don't have free speech there, not like we do in America. So if you're Zeke-heiling, you get arrested, which is probably why these guys were doing it in a group of thousands of people, because you cannot arrest 10 people if they can disappear into a group of 1,000 like that. So yeah, I'd like to get that altered. I wanted to fix that and not put out false information. So things have changed. And if anything, if you guys notice anything that I have said wrong in the future in these videos, I would love for it to be brought to my attention. And if I see it, I will address it. And I'll bring it up either in the comments, or I'll make a whole new video out like I did with this one. But I wanted to set those things straight. If you're attributing this entire group to being Nazis because of 10 people, you might have some logical fallacies in there. I think it's called Occam's razor. Attribute to ignorance before maliciousness. And I might even be misusing that term, but I tend to do that. These people were there not because they were aware that it was there was going to be Nazis there. They were there because they were angry about something else and they felt like they needed to speak. So, it's a freedom, and the big part that we miss here in America a lot, there is freedom of association and freedom from association. Just because you're at the same event as some other crazy dickheads does not mean that you agree with them. It never does, and it never will. I'm a pagan. If I'm in a Christian church for a funeral, that does not make me a Christian. Even if I'm bowing and praying out of respect, or at least appearing to do so, that does not make me a Christian. So, I am not going to assume that these people were Nazis because of the 10 there. The freedom from association should be spoken of more, because there seems to be a real issue of it of the left calling the right Nazis and the right calling the left communists. I don't like saying all the left is communists, nor do I like saying all the right are Nazis, even though fascism and Nazism is closer to communism, and I'll make another video about that someday. I've got a bunch of ideas. I wouldn't assume all of the left are communists and all the right are Nazis. That's just how I am. I don't think people are that evil. I don't think people are that dumb. I like to have hope that most people fall somewhere in the middle. So that's about it. I'm just going to sit here and wait for the stars to turn.